if you feel hopeless that this porn-free streak that you're on is going to come crashing down, that relapse is just around the corner, that this is hard, if you feel that, that's an indication that you believe it's going to be hard. It's not actually hard, right? This is going to sound like a mindfuck, but it's actually not hard to quit porn. Your belief that it's going to be hard is what's make it so. Here's the point I'm going to make right quickly, analogy. With biscuits, there are biscuits over there, okay? It doesn't take me much effort. It doesn't take me any effort. I can take it or leave it, the biscuit. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't care. The biscuit, I could take it or leave it. Why with porn and with masturbation do you feel like you can't take it or leave it? What's the difference there? They're both evolutionary. Sugar, right? Human beings find things sweet because we're evolutionary wired for sugar, for our survival and reproduction. The same thing is true with porn and masturbation. You might make the argument that, porn and masturbation is more addictive because it has this reproductive component, and reproductive is more important evolutionary than survival, which I would agree with. Though, that doesn't take away the idea that they're both the same kind of visceral mechanism. And a lot of people are more addicted to food, to sugar, than they are to porn and masturbation. Anyway, what I'm trying to fucking say, okay? You can take it or leave it with the biscuits, probably, but you feel like you can't with porn. The reason why you feel like you can't take it or leave it with porn, right? The reason why you can't feel that, you feel like, fuck, porn is like gonna pull me towards it. It's different, man. It's too addictive. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Your feelings are the products of your thoughts, of your beliefs, right? Your feelings accompany your thoughts. Your thoughts don't accompany your feelings. You don't feel first and then think. You think and then feel, right? You come to a realization mentally and then you start to feel things. Like, when you realize, let's say you're coming home from work and you realize, fuck yeah, I've got those biscuits at home I forgot about. Now you are suddenly desiring the biscuits. Once you realize you've got them, and once you realize that eating them would be a good idea, you desire coffee in the morning because you think coffee in the morning would be nice and I can wake up. You don't desire it in the evening. It's the same coffee. It's the same coffee. It's the same thing. You desire it in the morning, but you don't desire it in the evening. The point is, desire is a product of the thoughts. But a thought like quitting porn is going to be hard, quitting porn is going to give me this pull, this urge, that thought, that belief produces the desire for porn. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you 100% believed that quitting porn required zero willpower, there would be no mental pull, you'd start to feel that. But here's the other tricky thing. That isn't just the only component. It's not as simple as believe that there's no pull in your mind, believe that there's no hardness, believe that it's totally easy. That's just one component of it. That's what makes this problem a little bit tricky, because that's one component. That's one reason. Just as there are many reasons to drink tea or to eat biscuits, there are many reasons to watch porn. One of the reasons is this belief of it's going to be hard. Another belief might be pleasure. Another belief might be emotional relief. But I've talked about that in other videos at length. I'm going to talk about this one. This when you have this feeling of hopelessness, a feeling is an indication of a line of reasoning in your head. If you feel hopeless, if you feel that this is going to be hard, if you feel it feels like a relapse is around the corner, if you feel that feeling of this kind of like doom and gloom, that's an indication that you believe, that you think it's going to be hard. Again, it could be that you might feel as though you're feeling the pull towards porn because of pleasure or because of emotional relief or another reason. This is why it's a little bit complicated. But a lot of the time when you feel that hopeless feeling, when you feel like, it's just going to pull me in, it's because you're believing in this addiction. You're believing that it's going to be hard, therefore you feel it. I'm working on ways on how you can beat this, but the logic, it's actually a lot simpler. It's very straightforward on how you do this. You have a line of reasoning in your head. Let's take an example. Your line of reasoning might be, I'm going to feel urges because my brain is has these neural pathways, these greased neural pathways in my brain, habit that that has this dopamine cycle in my brain, right? This circuit, this porn circuit in my brain. It's already been formed. Been watching porn for 10 years. Therefore, I have this neural circuit. That might be a belief in your head that you believe so strongly to the point where you actually believe it to be scientific fact. What you don't realize is that that belief is what's powering the feelings of this is going to be hard, of this is hopeless, of relapses around the corner. I don't believe that shit anymore, and therefore I don't feel it. So, how do you get rid of that belief? How do we get rid of a belief? How do we get rid of a line of reasoning? In the same way as you do with anything. Porn isn't special. Like, masturbation isn't special. It's not special. It's not a special category of thing that requires a different kind of solution. It requires unlearning more than it requires learning. What I'm saying is that the way you'd let's say I wanted to go. I'm thinking, should I go to the shop or should I go to the shop before I go to the cinema, or should I go straight to the cinema? If I go to the cinema straight away, I get to see the trailers, which I really like to see. If I go to the shop first, then I can buy my cinema snacks there, cheaper, and then I can go to the cinema. So that's a decision. The way we come to a conclusion is by thinking, and thinking to yourself, okay, I could go to the shop first, but you know what? I really want to see the cinema trailers, but hang on. At the cinema, I just remembered there's some new horror films that are going to come out in the coming month, and I know that there's going to be exclusive trailers there, so shit, I might want to go to the cinema. And if I go to the cinema, that means I can actually get the snacks I actually want. I can get the fucking popcorn that I really want. And you know what? The shop, I don't even think the shop has the snacks I actually want. I think the shop actually, because I remember last time I was there, I tried to get the fucking Haribos and didn't have the right ones I wanted. Fuck yeah, cinema, let's do it. Let's forget the shop. I don't mind paying extra money. And boom, you go to the cinema. You see that? That was like a fucking reasoning that you have in your head. And we do this all the time on a daily basis, but with porn, we have these facts that we hold in our head as fact. It's not true. So similarly to that, I know this is taking a long time, but let me explain. You analyze that line of thinking, as I was saying, with the dopamine in your brain, right? The way you fucking debunk that is I often use Word documents, right? You can use paper or you can think in your head. And I'm not saying you need to do some fucking philosophy essay on it. I'm saying read the freedom model, go through the information in there. This is all about information, right? It's all about thinking. So go through the freedom model in there, realize, oh shit, this isn't true. There's some really good arguments against the dopamine theory. Firstly, we form habits with everything, with driving a car, with riding a motorcycle, whatever. That doesn't mean I'm addicted to it. Second of all, how do people who have 10 or 15 years of brain changes due to excessive drug use or porn use, how do they quit? How do they quit in one day? Again, why do 90% of alcoholics quit? And then you can read the book Addiction, a Disorder of Choice by Gene Heyman, or Brainwashed by Sally Setal, where it talks about how the neural changes in the brain haven't actually been proven to cause addiction. People correlate the two, but there's actually no causation there. And you think about, okay, if it's correlated but not causation, then what does cause addiction? And then you start reading about how beliefs are what drive our behavior. You start to buy into that because the evidence is ridiculous. It's overwhelming. The arguments are way too good. And then you start to buy into all of this freedom or something. You think, fuck, the dopamine stuff doesn't even compel me one bit. Let me not believe in that. And then you stop believing in that because you're convinced. And then you kind of walk through life and you feel more free. You feel more free. Yeah, you feel it. Because you feel it, that's now your evidence. You're now no longer believing in a book. You've come to that conclusion by yourself. And the conclusions which you come for yourself are always going to be the strongest. Yeah? So then, now, you're going through your life and you don't believe in addiction. Then you do figure out, oh, I don't even want to jerk off. Hang on, is it actually easy as fuck to stop? Damn it, I'm going to try. Then you go a week and it's like, fuck. A week without jerking off, I had no urges because I didn't want to. Because I didn't feel the need to. I didn't feel as though I had to. I didn't. I felt better. And now this new life opens up to you. These new experiences open up to you. The jerk off free life. And you learn to like that more. And now suddenly when you look at jerking off, you can't see the pleasure anymore in it. All you can see is the sacrifice of the life that you really like now. And then it becomes easy. I will never eat 10 biscuits in a row. Why? Because I care about my health way too much. Once you experience the jerk off free life, and then it doesn't require willpower, it doesn't require sacrifice. You experience it. You realize you don't have to fight anything. You realize it's worth it. You realize you can do it. You realize going back would be the wrong move. So, what I'm saying here, I hope you can rewind this video and go through it again. I've said a lot, but basically read the freedom model. It's why it's so important that you read the freedom model, because it's going to change your mind. It's going to change your perspective. When you change your perspective, your feelings change. When your feelings change, now I realize for myself. And now you realize for yourself, it becomes a lot more simple. It becomes easy. Yeah? And you have a vision for your life without porn, and it becomes a reality, and then you're done. And then you'll never go back. You'll be like, I'll never go back. You felt that the grass is green on the other side. So read the freedom model, rewind this video, because I've said a lot here, and I think I've explained it quite well, how to beat this feeling of hopelessness, and how to actually feel hopeful by changing those damaging beliefs in your head about why you believe in addiction, why you believe it's going to be hard, why you believe it's going to be hard, even 10%. I believe it's going to be hard 0%. That's a fucking cool mindset. And I was not like this. I was horribly addicted to porn for fucking hell, a long time, man. So, do read the freedom model. Link in the description.